Good morning, everyone. I acknowledge we are gathered today on traditional territory of Treaty 6, and I recognize the Métis people who have such a deep connection with our land. My name is Kasawski, and I'm your Alberta NDP candidate for the riding of Sherwood Park. I'm very pleased to be here today to be part of such an important announcement with my colleague Cam Heenan for Leduc Beaumont and Jasvir Deol, multicultural critic and Alberta NDP candidate for Alberta for Edmonton Meadows. In Alberta, we believe that no matter where you grow up, you should have every opportunity to grow and succeed. That's why our campaign for a better future for Alberta means investing in better health care, better education, and more jobs. It also means investing in communities. This means having communities that are thriving and that are full of opportunities. Earlier today, Rachel Notley announced Hometown Alberta, an innovative new program to build more community infrastructure in Alberta and especially in growing communities around the capital region. I know in Sherwood Park it could mean getting the Strathcona Fieldhouse built sooner and funded for an earlier start date and opening. This project is to be an intergenerational recreation and activity centre that supports the county's vision of becoming Canada's most livable community. So those are the kinds of projects we're talking about today. But to tell us more about Hometown Alberta, I welcome Cam to make some remarks.
Thanks, Kyle, and thanks to Jasvir for being here today. Hometown Alberta is part of our plan for building stronger communities, for helping build and fix the places where we gather, the community halls where we celebrate weddings and graduations, the senior centers where we host fundraisers and bingo nights, the recreation centers and sports complexes where we gather to watch our kids score the winning goal or nail that perfect dive, the museums that preserve our history, and the places of worship that preserve our faith. These are the places where we make memories. But after 4 years of UCP cuts, municipalities and nonprofits across Alberta have been forced to make tough decisions, putting off or passing up on these kinds of projects or facility improvements. Fewer amenities means fewer opportunities. More infrastructure issues means less time on the ice or in the pool. We shouldn't have to compromise on these important pillars of our communities in the wealthiest province of Canada. So instead of wasting money on these bad UCP plans that hurt hometowns, like spending millions to throw at the RCMP, we will invest in making our communities better. That's why an Alberta NDP government will launch Hometown Alberta. Hometown Alberta is a capital grant program designed specifically to build and improve our public sports, community, cultural, and recreational facilities. It will replace and improve upon the current Community Facility Enhancement Fund, or CFEP, which is oversubscribed year after year, by increasing grant funding by 50% to a total of $75 million per year. In addition, we will also establish a new $100 million capital investment fund annually that will allow the Government of Alberta to finance and build more community infrastructure. This will get projects going sooner and create jobs faster, jobs right here in Leduc and Beaumont. Hometown Alberta will let us invest in sports centers, keeping us in the mix for event tourism opportunities. It means more visits and more economic activity, and on the other side, it also just means more community space. I have heard from so many residents who tell me how badly we need a community hall here, a new space to gather for meetings or host large events. Hometown Alberta is designed to get it done. Under Hometown Alberta, we will see hundreds of new projects in every corner of the province. This will create more than 1,500 new jobs in places big and small. Alberta's NDP will protect and improve the important places we find community and find each other. Under Hometown Alberta, we will invest in a better future for our province, for our neighbors, and for our kids. Thank you, and I would invite Jasvir to say a few words.
Thank you, Cam, and thank you, Kyle. sports and recreation is a key to the well-being of our society and have had the honor of the activity being involved in the establishment of many sport camps, including soccer and kabaddi. I can't wait to see Hometown Alberta fund some new soccer fields and cricket pitches. There is so much opportunity to expand sports through this program, but it's important to understand that Hometown Alberta is more than sports. It will support everything from new playgrounds to religious place upgrades to improvements of our multicultural communities, community centers like one at the Native Friendship Center. This program brings a new opportunity to reinvest in our diversity. We are going to achieve this through partnership with cultural communities to make sure our hometowns reflect the diverse and welcoming place Alberta is. In my riding of Edmonton Meadows, Hometown Alberta might mean capital for capacity enhancement of gurdwaras, mandars, improvement of infrastructure of existing community league halls, or building of a new skating rinks for our kids in the community. Hometown Alberta recognizes there is a hometown for all of us, and we can always make it better. Thank you, and we are happy to take your questions now.
So we'll turn things over to questions. So for those in the room, we'll go to you first, but if those are online, it's the raise hand function or *9 by telephone. So first in the room.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deepak, and I'm representing Times of Asia. And my question is to Mr. Jasvir Deol, as you are a critic for multiculturalism. So why did Alberta NDP felt the need to add more funds? And if you can reconfirm which Asian communities or the facilities will be benefited with this announcement?
Thank you very much for the question. I really appreciate it. This is a very important question, as according to my experience, but I've been listening from our communities for the past 4 years and from my own experience being part of the community for the past 30 years and on the board and participating with a number of different community organizations. So there's people doing phenomenal work to support the communities, the children's, our new generations, providing platform to channelize their energy in a healthy way. So they still lack funding. During the past 4 years, I have many organizations, religious and nonprofits, coming to my office. They were declined the funding by this GOCP government. So they were declined their operational projects, and they were declined, like I said, on many community leagues meetings. And not only one, like many of them in Millboards particularly, they applied for funding to their deteriorating structure and something they wanted to expand on their existing community halls. And all the community league in Millboards, we have more than 3, they all got declined. So that's very important. I have a soccer, the people who actually organize soccer camps for the kids in thousands of numbers in the community. And they don't have any specific space they can use for this. And the cricket in our community, you know that, they have been paying for decades, and they invest a lot of money, and that's that big community. And they organize very professional tournaments in our community, but they do not really have one place where they can organize their activities. So based on my past 4 years of consultations and my own experience, we have been working on this, and we sat together, and that's why we're coming and to announce this program under new banner that will increase the existing grant program and also add additional funding. So additional 125 million funding to the program. Now it's called, under single banner, it will be called Hometown Alberta program. So that will help the nonprofits, that will help also the municipalities.
So the follow-up question for this is there any dollar amount determined for this specific announcement?
Yes, as we said, the CAM has actually said in very detailed. So we are adding 50% to the existing CFIP, we call it Community Facility Enhancement Program. But we are also adding $100 million additional to infrastructure program and bringing them in under one banner. So all kind of people, it's not only me. I still remember sometime I joke about this, and I spoke in the House many times. It was the UCP members when they were just, making maiden speeches, talking about their community centers and deteriorating infrastructures, but I don't know what happened to them in the last 4 years. None of them, stood in the House again after their maiden speech and advocated on behalf of their communities. And I think as we are in election season, it is for us to clear that we will partner with the municipalities and we will work with those nonprofits, and we are there for their support.
Thank you.
Questions in the room? So we'll go to questions online. Mandeep, you should be able to talk. Mandeep, you should be able to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Hello? Okay. My question is for Jasvir. Mandeep Pujara this side from Prime Asia TV. As we are in the election season now, and as always, parties commit so much to the minorities. Actually, I'm talking about the diversity and inclusion. Most of the time, they actually announce, but they don't deliver later on when they are in the power. My question is like a plan of action to achieve the satisfactory results, and how you will make sure it will serve the purpose in effective and the targeted manner. If we talk about the inclusion and diversity, as you're talking about the Hometown Alberta supporting mandir, masjid, gurdwaras, and all other recreational facilities like the games, like cricket, kabaddi, soccer, the field hockey, there are many more. So how you will make sure you will deliver what you are committing on? That's a question for the Jasvir.
Thank you, Mandeep, for your question. As I said in my answer to the previous question, first of all, you need to have a program to help and support people. In this such case, the communities and those organizations were left behind when the UCP made a huge cut to the existing programs. And second, my office been one of the busiest office in Alberta, where I was trying as much as I could to help the community organizations to navigate programs that can be available. Unfortunately, there were not many. It was almost none. And there were organizations, I helped even get funding from federal programs and some non-governmental programs. So that is where my focus have been. So that's what my office will keep doing. We will work with the organizations, my constituents, or people from anywhere that seek help to prepare their applications and look, or any kind of guidance, and they need to know about the programs. And definitely the program is there with the announcement. There is a funding, there is a program, and I'm pretty sure after those applications, there is a program and the funding available. Those community organizations will be able to receive the funds. So that's the only, I think it's a unique mechanism. And I have been very, very practical in past 4 years, supporting people navigate programs and even how to fill applications and apply for those. And I will keep doing that.
So the follow-up question is like, do you have any targeted approach for the specific communities, like the proportion of funds that must be routed to any specific community? If we talk about the Sikh community, Hindu community, Muslim community here in Alberta.
So under this program, you can do a lot of things. First of all, you can build new facilities, you can fix and repair it, you can expand these structures. So this program is very broad program. And I have heard from like many different organizations. I'm listening from Gurdwara, specifically when they were originally built. The community was very small, and now after 30 years, community has outgrown, and those places felt very small for the communities. And the mandars are the other ones, they have been advocating for this. And the sports group, as I said, you know, the organizations, they are organizing soccer camps, cricket tournaments, and kabaddi, local games, and a number of others, the cultural events organizations organize. So this program will be available to all of those. As I said, you know, we will keep working with those, and we are there to support them.
Thank you very much, Jasvir.
Thank you.
Caller, you should be able to unmute. Caller, you should be able to unmute.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, this is Gushan Butra calling from my radio.
Hello.
Do you have a question?
You're talking to me, Gushan Butra from my radio?
Yes, you had your hand up.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I have a question, yes. Thank you very much for taking my call. And what I've seen for last many years, there are lots of misuse in the grants, you know, like lots of non-profit organizations. There are tons of money sitting with them, and they haven't done much for the community. Or you can fix that problem and be very transparent and only support and give grant to community organizations who are making difference in the community and who are actually working on the ground level to make the difference in the community.
So that is your question? I just wanted to say from my own experience, you know, I have, as I said, I've been part of many organizations. At least 6, I remember that, you know. I've been the founding members of those, and I volunteered with them and sat on their boards. That was not the case for us, but I assume that, you know, what you're saying is probably that is true. You would have really the evidence you are asking based on. There is a mechanism, but if someone does something, they have to file their annual reports, and if they do not file the annual reports, then definitely I will believe that will have some very bad consequences, or the organizations become default in that cases. And the funding will be allocated based on their application, their history. I think there is a mechanism that exists. That is why I can just say it, between 2015, 2019, I don't know if somebody would say that they were not have enough funded, that would be a different question, but I haven't heard back from anyone, not even from third party, if there was evidence that somebody got the government funding and they were not able to deliver their promise. If something like that happens, and there is a mechanism to call the funding back, I think that route exists, and so far yet, I think the community leagues and the organizations I can name a number of them. They are doing very, very great work in the communities.
Do you have a follow-up? Go ahead.
Yes, yes, I hear what you're saying. Not every organization I'm saying, there's some, and there are tons of money sitting and is not being used. But if you can, after the election or if you have time sometime, I can give you a few names as well, which are given to me, and I did some investigation, and there's piles of money sitting, and people, I know it's a desperate need for the community to have those organizations. And some organizations are working excellent, and they are making a difference in the community. I totally understand that. But all I'm looking for is, all I'm asking is there any room to improve the process? There's many people you have mentioned, the soccer and cricket and few other organizations who are looking for grants, and they're unable to take that advantage. And there's some organizations where their track record is not there, or they are not doing much in the community, but they still have lots of grants under their belt. So this is what my question is, to make it more transparent and make it easier for the community organizations who are making the difference in the community, and some community organizations just set up the way it is to take advantage of all these grants, but not enough contribution towards the community.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the invitation. I'm always happy to, sit and talk specifically with the media, who's really out there to help people, educate and bring awareness. The people can have an informed decision. And, after all, it's the people of Alberta, it's Albertans, they can hold accountable to anyone, including me as a politician, or the community organizations working to support the community members. Definitely, I had a consultation in the last 4 years with so many disadvantaged community organizations. They do a lot, actually, to support communities, and when it comes to the government funding, it fell short, and they are left behind. So this program, that will add support program. It is there for them, and I will think, and I think, I would assume after this program and the awareness that you bring on the radio, a lot of people who are in need, and they will apply for this funding, and they will be able to support their communities and the community members to build this vibrant society and a better society for all.
Perfect. We'll do one more pass for questions. First in the room. And online, again, it's raise hand function or *9. Seeing none, that concludes the press conference for today. Thank you.